Happy Sundays, it's Seinfeld again. It's the 29th of January and we've got, 2 more days left of the month and then it's all over. It is a long weekend, it feels, with lots of weird news going on from abroad, but we won't be talking about that today on the episode. We're just going to be talking about Seinfeld. And I've just been watching The Apartment, which is, and I've lost track of what episode it is, but episode 5 of season 2. I'm gonna lose track. I can feel it. Still got a bit of a cough, as you can probably hear. This is the second apartment occupation-themed episode, I think, of Seinfeld that we've seen so far. I know living in a big city like London, where I am, and probably imagine New York, apartments and getting apartments is a kind of everyday life pain in the arse. I know in this apartment that I'm in now, it took a good 2 months to secure something, and just dealing with issues exactly like Elaine was facing there, with money being required and contracts being signed. Lots of dodgy real estate agents in London asking for little increases in monthly rent at the last minute and little payments up front. You can all go and F yourselves. Everyone who works in that industry, you're all thieves. Anyway, no, I'm sure you're lovely people. Just don't be a dick. Let people rent an apartment. Anyway, I thought the episode was okay. I think apart from I loved George's pathetic moments with the wedding ring, but it was a bit like, it wasn't as great as some of the more recent episodes. But we had a very high standard set in the previous couple, which were classics in my eyes. I want to talk about Neighbours. I mentioned on an early episode this week that my neighbours upstairs were doing some renovation work, and my neighbours upstairs have a tendency to be quite noisy at random times of the night. Washing machines on at 2 o'clock in the morning, and so forth and so on. I've never actually met them. They sort of live in a little different entry to my building, and they're locked behind a fence. So I don't know how to get in contact with them. I live in fear that they're going to take my packages when they come from the mail. But I should be nicer to them. I should speak to them. I'm hoping one day I'll actually get to meet them and be nice and friendly. But until now, they sort of live on a different time zone upstairs, it feels sometimes. And, I will, I'll be woken up at random times of the day. Or maybe I'm doing the same to them by kind of living a normal 9-to-5 life. But that's just me. Ranting on a Sunday morning. Do you have a weird neighbour? Do you have an odd, noisy neighbour? I think my favourite neighbour I ever had was someone who used to play the saxophone when I lived back in Sydney. And he played Careless Whisper by George Michael periodically throughout the day, which added a layer of romance, I felt, to the evening when sitting and watching various documentaries on ABC, and then would kind of kick in and things would get a little bit steamy in my living room. But hey, there you go. No, everyone loves a little bit of George. So, I'm going to wrap this episode up now. I'm going to give it, I'll say 3.5 muffin tops out of 5. It was funny. It had moments of George, and I love George. George is my favourite character. But it didn't really have the zing of the last couple of episodes. But you know what? Like I said, the benchmark is now getting set higher and things are getting better. It is a lovely day where I'm in London now. It seems to be quite sunny outside, a little bit chilly. So I'm hoping I can go get a coffee and enjoy my Sunday. For everyone else out there, keep Seinfelding. Happy Sundays. And I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be watching The Statue. I'll see you then. Bye.